Hello, and welcome to Module 2 of the Academic Integrity course. In this module, we will be looking at academic misconduct and understanding the different types of academic misconduct and the consequences for them. In this module, we look at the following key topics. What is academic misconduct? What are the different types of academic misconduct? What are the consequences of academic misconduct? And we will finish with a quiz. So what is academic misconduct? Well, academic misconduct is any action which attempts to gain you an unfair academic advantage, whether for yourself or for someone else. Here at Churchy, every student is expected to understand and abide by the rules of behaviour which are outlined in Churchy's assessment policies and procedures that specifically prohibit academic misconduct. We will begin by looking at different types of academic misconduct. Cheating while under supervised conditions. This is a form of academic misconduct that occurs when a student begins to write answers during a perusal time or continues to write answers to questions after being told to stop. It also occurs if a student brings in materials that are not permitted in the exam room. For example, a calculator into a non-calculator exam or a smartwatch into an exam room. It also occurs with the writing of formulas, answers or notes onto your body or onto pieces of equipment. It also occurs if you talk to or communicate with someone during an exam. For example, using secret gestures to communicate answers or using a phone in the bathroom to search up an answer. Collusion is a form of academic misconduct that occurs when a student works with another to produce a response, and that response is submitted as individual work by one or multiple students. For example, perhaps you have researched a topic together and each completed a different section, which you have then combined together and presented as individual work of your own. This is different to group work where students may have collaborated on a project. Collusion also occurs when a student helps another to commit an act of academic misconduct, or if a student gives a response to an assessment or an exam to someone else, or if a student receives a copy of an assessment task answer from someone else. Contract cheating is a form of academic misconduct that occurs when a student pays a person, such as a tutor or a friend, to complete an assessment, or pays an online service, such as an essay writing website, to complete an assessment. It also occurs if you sell or you trade answers to assessments. And most importantly, this also includes using free or paid artificial intelligence online tools to complete or contribute to the writing of assessment task responses. Copying work is academic misconduct that occurs when a student, deliberately or knowingly, makes it possible for another student to copy their responses. For example, if you make sure your answers are visible for a friend to copy during an exam. It also applies to looking at another student's work during an exam or copying someone else's work during an exam. Disclosing or receiving information about an assessment is a form of academic misconduct that occurs when a student gives or gets access to information that compromises the integrity of the assessment. For example, a student accesses a copy of the stimulus or the exam prior to the examination. This also applies to discussing exam questions and answers with students who have not yet sat the exam. For example, you may share the answers to a question on a science exam or share the content of a question on the science exam to another student who has not sat the test. Fabricating. Fabricating occurs when a student either invents or exaggerates data, lists incorrect or fictitious references. This includes changing data to better support your assignment or making up data or references to make it look like you have completed research. An example could be that you could not remember which source you found the information in on your assignment, so you make up a reference for it or attribute to a different reference already in your assignment. Misconduct during an assessment occurs when a student distracts or disrupts others in an assessment room. This could be as simple as talking or creating noise that will distract others. Plagiarism or lack of referencing. This occurs if you completely or partially copy or alter another person's work without attribution. This includes paraphrases with no in-text citations, quotes with no in-text citations, or work that is not correctly referenced. This does not just apply to text, but also includes audio or audiovisual material, figures, tables, designs, images, coding, information and ideas. More details on plagiarism will be covered in Module 3. Self-plagiarism. This occurs when a student duplicates their own work or part of work that they have already submitted as a response to an assessment, and they submit it in the same or any other subject. Significant contribution of help. This is a form of academic misconduct that occurs when a student arranges for or allows a tutor, a parent, a carer, or any person in a supporting role to complete or contribute significantly to the response. To have integrity, the work you submit must be a reflection of your achievement. If someone else has contributed significantly by providing content, ideas, or text for your work, then it is no longer your work. Similarly, this also applies to the use of AI to complete work. You are not permitted to use software to generate work on your behalf, even if the work created is original work. This is why software-based text modification is also a form of academic misconduct. It occurs when a student takes content written by another and runs it through a software tool to evade plagiarism detection. For example, you cannot use online services such as Quillbot to take content and paraphrase it for you. Even if you attribute the paraphrased work to the original author, this is still academic misconduct, as the paraphrase created is not work that's been created by you. There are a number of consequences of academic misconduct, and we will cover them now in this section of the presentation. Academic misconduct is a level 2 or, depending on the action, a level 3 unacceptable behaviour. The consequences vary, but may include contact with your parent to discuss the behaviour. In the case of plagiarism, any plagiarised work will be redacted or removed from your assignment and not marked. This will, of course, naturally affect your grade. Academic misconduct in the form of, for example, cheating or collusion could result in the loss of your grade or the lowering of your grade. In addition to the academic penalties, any of the following may also be applied: a detention, a 1, 3 or 5 day suspension, a 3 or 6 hour work detail, or in some instances, expulsion from school. Congratulations, you have now completed Module 2. You must successfully complete the quiz before you move on to Module 3.